Welcome back to Touring the AFC South. I'm your host, Mike Patton, and of course, NFL has been pretty interesting this year. Teams you think should win games and have no chance, and they're turning out winning and losing games. I mean, it's very, very interesting. Of course, I want to step outside the AFC South for just a little bit. I'm going to bring on someone, my guest. She hits you with "Let me say this" quite a few times on social media. Also, she is the host of About Nothing But Sports podcast and recently became a social media content producer for BetQL. And in my opinion, I think she's the hot take queen. Welcome to the show, Miss Ashley Baker. How you doing?
Hey, Mike, I am good. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for the lovely introduction. You always call me. I think you definitely dubbed me Hot Take Queen, like from the jump. Like he definitely dubbed me Hot Take Queen. Thanks for having me on. How have you been?
Yeah, of course, of course, of course. Now, for those that don't know, Ashley is a Cowboys fan. Of course, I've actually had a few Cowboys fans on this show, which, believe it or not, I've had about maybe three or four.
Okay,
So,
that's a surprise, actually.
yeah, actually, well, honestly, it was unbeknownst to me, but that's
Okay,
how it
that's
happened.
all right. We in the
uh,
cut. We be in the cut. You don't need to be knowing. We be in the cut. We Cowboy fans. You don't even know.
so I want to ask, since I've asked everyone else, and you're in the DC area, correct?
I am.
So, how did you become a fan of the Dallas Cowboys
That's
in
like
DC?
everybody's number one question. So, I grew up in a Dallas Cowboy household, right? So, my mom was born about 20 minutes outside of Dallas in Mineral Wells, Texas. So just all of my life, I have family down there. All of my life, it's been all about the Cowboys and my household. I was born here in DC, but whatever. Okay, I got family in Dallas. My mama was born near Dallas. I'm a Cowboys fan. Been a Cowboys fan for 32 years. I just told y'all my age, but been a Cowboys fan for 32 years. So yeah, just my mom, man. My family is huge on sports, and growing up, it was just predominantly women into sports. So I grew up in the 90s hearing my mom yell and scream and shout, of course, celebrating those 90s Super Bowls. So yeah, I've always just taken after her in that sense.
Gotcha. Well, I'm not going to go into the Cowboys jokes because I've probably done a few over and over again, and so I'm gonna leave them alone for right now.
Yeah, leave him alone. Leave him alone, Mike. Leave him alone.
Well, I'm not gonna rub any salt in the wound. I just want to talk about the last game. I'm gonna talk about it one time. We're gonna leave
Okay.
it alone. So, your Cowboys, of course, are on the uptick this season. Of course, despite the loss to the Chiefs this past Sunday. In light of how the Cowboys have played this season, are you confident that this team could end the Super Bowl appearance slide this season?
Mike, I don't like these questions. I don't like these questions.
But if that's your team, though, you got to go ahead and ride
My
with them, right?
squad, man. Listen. There's one thing that I took away, and I think you saw me tweet this. Is one thing that I took away from the Dallas Chiefs game, and the main thing was that the defense is like legit. Like, I'm very impressed with the in-game adjustments that I've seen week after week by Dan Quinn. I've always only asked for a bend not breaking kind of defense with Dallas, because obviously we're never going to have the Legion of Boom that I so desperately want. But I'm I think the most interesting thing is the defense, and the defense. I don't know if they're still 10th after this week, but going into the Kansas City game, they were a top 10 defense. That's good enough to get you into a Super Bowl. That's good enough to win you a Super Bowl, especially when you couple it with what our offense can be. Now, Kansas City just didn't see the actual Dallas offense. We were missing CeeDee Lamb in the second half. Amari Cooper didn't play. We were just, kind of off. Tyron Smith is hurt. Our offensive line is banged up. They didn't see the real Dallas that these other teams have been seeing. And then, again, defense kept them under 20 points. I could see my team, to answer your question, I could see Dallas winning the NFC Championship and, yes, making a Super Bowl appearance. I already bought my tickets. Already got my tickets to LA. Okay, I'm already booked. I am booked to see the Dallas Cowboys play at SoFi Stadium. So I hope that I'm right. And, I did it as a joke earlier this year. I wanted to be in LA anyway for the Super Bowl this year. But now that I'm seeing what Dallas is doing, man, and kind of nobody really wants. I mean, Arizona's playing great, but each conference is just shaky. You know what I'm saying? Like the top part of the conference is just shaky. So we'll see. But they got an opportunity. We'll see.
Well, we took the roundabout way home, but we got there. We got there.
I gotta explain myself, Mike, because I mean, listen. I've been needing Dallas to win the Super Bowl for the last 20 years. Okay, now I ain't been doing these interviews for 20 years, but come on now. Yeah,
I hear you. We got the Cowboys talk, but this is a show on the AFC South. And we got that out the way, so we have to start talking about the AFC South. And the top team in the AFC South is the Tennessee Titans. Now, of course, it was a rough Sunday for them this past week out with the Texans.
Yeah.
Nobody saw them losing, 22-13? I don't think anybody saw that happening.
No.
But, of course, the offense was stagnant. It's their first loss without Derrick Henry. The offense was stagnant. Ryan Tannehill was not very careful with the football, as you can see with all the interceptions. Defense gave them plenty of chances, things like that, but just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah.
Do you feel that this last game is a closer feeling to what the Titans are without Derrick Henry, or is this an aberration?
I think it's an aberration. I think this was a trap game. This was a trap game. Tennessee did not take the Texans serious at all. That's just what it all boils down to. This was one of the divisions that I knew would be really interesting coming into the season. With you guys, with Tennessee, you're a Titans fan, right?
Well, I support the home team. I'll put it that way.
Got it. So, with the acquisition, obviously, of, Julio and then Carson Wentz going to the Colts, I was like, the AFC South is going to be, and then maybe I thought the debacle with the Texans would be over with Deshaun. I don't know. I just knew that this was going to be a division that I wanted to keep my eye on. So I think this was a trap game. I think that, they've been playing extremely well, like you said, without Derrick Henry. I don't think that they're that bad without Derrick Henry. So it was a trap game. They just did not take, and everybody, this has been a year of upsets, of surprises. They are not the only team that lost a game that they inexplicably lost a game that they should have won. Luckily for them, it's been plenty of teams that came before them that then lost games that they should have won. So, no, I think they'll bounce back. They should be okay. It was a trap game. It was a bad game. That wasn't supposed to happen. That just was not supposed to happen.
I hear you. Now, of course, I'm going to get to this rumor, and it's been out there, and, nobody's really confirmed it, that Derrick Henry could be back for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. If he returns, does that ultimately make the Titans Super Bowl contenders again, in your opinion? Or did they ever leave being Super Bowl contenders?
Were they ever Super Bowl contenders to me? That's what you should be asking me. I don't know if y'all was up. No, I'm joking. Here's the deal. That's going to be contingent upon Derrick Henry's health. I don't know how he's going to look after that injury. I mean, we would hope he would come back and he's not going to come back 100%. That's just the thing. I don't know how long it's going to take for him to get 100%. Maybe they can sneak a win. I don't know. Without Derrick Henry, I think they'll make the playoffs. With him, I'm assuming he probably will come back at maybe 80%, 85%. I just don't know if that's going to be enough. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. I'm actually annoyed with a couple of teams in the AFC. I'm annoyed with the Titans. I'm annoyed with the Colts. I'm annoyed with the Bills. I'm annoyed with a couple of teams because the Chiefs gave y'all a 10-week start to establish yourselves as some type of top running team, and now here they come. They gave y'all, they spotted y'all 8, 9, 10 weeks, and nobody wanted to take hold of the AFC. So I don't know. After seeing what Kansas City is doing, they're kind of like clicking, getting their mojo back. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if I can see them as Super Bowl contenders because of what I see Kansas City doing. Even if Derrick Henry come back, I see Kansas City starting to get their mojo back, and they're winning at the right time of the year. And I just don't think that bodes well for anybody in the AFC.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, of course, the Titans were playing well, leading this division, of course. But there's another team playing well in this division, and that will be the Indianapolis Colts. And after they whooped the Buffalo Bills
Speaking
in
of
Buffalo,
yeah.
Are you starting to gain some confidence in this team right now?
My confidence goes as far as my confidence goes with Carson Wentz. No, seriously, not seriously though. Colts look good. Colts, I have gone against the Colts a couple of times this year in my picks, and they have made me eat my words. They have made me eat crow. Do they have a shot at winning the division? Oh, absolutely. And that's only because Derrick Henry is not playing. I think the division is a wrap if Derrick Henry was playing. I mean, I think that the Titans would take it pretty easy, but because he's not, the Colts is making some noise, man. So on a scale from 1 to 10, maybe I think they're like an 8 as far as them being able to like win the division. Honestly, they look good. They look good, and they're running back. I know we're gonna get into that later, but they look good.
Well, why wait till later? Let's go ahead and talk about it now. Jonathan Taylor, 5 touchdowns this past week.
Yeah.
4 rushing, 1 receiving. He's the leading rusher in the NFL now, of course, surpassing Derrick Henry.
Yep.
With how the Colts are playing offense, and by the way, they're mirroring the Titans with running the football.
Yes.
Do you think this is an offense that can make them a dark horse to win the AFC? Just with how they currently are. I know you have your Carson Wentz feelings.
Yeah. Yes. I'll say yes. I'll say yes to that. If they continue to play the way they've been playing, possibly. I want to say yes so bad, but bro, you really don't understand. Like I'm so upset at y'all's teams in this AFC for letting the Chiefs breathe some type of life. I just don't know. I feel like everybody kind of frees up whenever they play. They forget how to play sometimes when they play in Kansas City. So dark horse, yes. Will that come to fruition? Probably not. Because I don't see the Bills. I mean, I think the Bills will get back on track. They got a few more weeks to get back on track. I think they'll be a different team in the playoffs. Kansas City is coming. We cannot sleep on what the hell Bill Belichick and them is doing in New England. Hello. That's getting crazy. That's getting crazy. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if they're pretenders or not. You know what I mean? They look good. They winning games, man. I don't know. Shout out to Chris drops balls because the Colts is his squad. He'll hit me every Sunday and be like, I told you, we coming. And I'm like, yeah, they looking kind of good. So, but I don't know. Dark horse, I don't know. It's still too many other teams out there that can like give them a run for their money, or just they're playing just as well, or we'll get back to playing just as well like the Bills will, I believe.
Now, we're referring to Chris Lewis II, who is the host of Drop Balls podcast, which comes out every week, and he definitely drops a lot of Colts talk as well as talk about the NFL. So shout out to him. I will say that the Colts, the Bills, they still kind of are questionable to me because their running game is their quarterback. That ain't necessarily the greatest thing unless you're Lamar Jackson. That's the only time it's great.
Yeah, true.
But of course, we do have to talk about.
So you don't think that the Bills are going to the AFC Championship at all? Like you don't even.
No.
You don't think they're getting to the AFC Championship, Mike?
Do not. No.
Wow.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't believe in.
You don't believe in Josh Allen?
No, don't believe in them. I mean, they've lost to the Titans and they've lost to the Colts, the two top teams in this division.
Yeah, and it sucks because they're losing to like conference opponents. Like that's not gonna bode well. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like they're gonna get it together. Did we get on the high horse for Josh and the Bills too soon, man?
Yes.
After last year? Gosh. Complete 360 is crazy.
Well, I will say this. We did talk about the top teams in the AFC South, but we do have to talk about those teams at the bottom. Boy, oh boy, do we really have to? Yes, we do. All right. Now, of course, the Houston Texans, they moved to 2-8 with their win over the Titans. I got to ask, how shocked were you with that win and that they were actually up 19-0 at one point in the third quarter this past Sunday?
Oh, extremely shocked. But let me be clear, that's more so of, bad Titans than it was good Texans. You know what I mean? That was
I'll say Tyrod Taylor was impressive watching the game in the first half.
But I think, again, as I said earlier, I think that the Titans slept on this game. They slept. They didn't take the game serious for some unapparent reason. So I was more so shocked, not because of, oh, look what the Texans are doing. I was more so shocked, like, what the hell are the Titans? What are y'all doing? What is going on? It was that. It wasn't me like being impressed with the Texans, man. So, but I mean, they look, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. Any given Sunday, man, they did that thing. So I can't even hate on them. They did it.
That's true. Anything can happen. Now,
yeah.
As mentioned, of course, the Texans are 2-8. They play the Jets, Colts, the Texans, Chargers, and the Titans at home. And then they have the Jaguars and the 49ers on the road to finish their schedule. How many of those would you say you see a win? Now, I'll say this. Keep in mind, they did beat the Jaguars to start the season, and they have beat the Titans this past week.
I don't think they're going to beat the Jets.
Okay.
They're not going to beat the Colts.
All right.
I
don't know why I put the Texans down. I just looked at my notes now. I put the Texans down.
It's cool. I don't think they'll beat the Chargers. Yeah. No, I don't think they're going to win another game. Okay. Now look at the rest of the schedule. They may have a chance to beat the Jets. Maybe.
You don't think they'll beat Jacksonville?
No. Nope.
I think with Tyrod Taylor back, they're going to beat Jacksonville.
I think I got a little bit of, I got high hopes and, my boy Lawrence, man. So
yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about him.
I know. Nah, I don't know. They might can get it. They might can get this. Nah, maybe the Jets.
Okay. All right, we're gonna leave that one there.
They in Jacksonville. They at 49ers to finish the schedule, like you put on the road. No, maybe against the Jets. That's it. They'll be what, 3-14.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
Boy. Well, ironically, the second win for the Texans comes in the home state of their head coach, David Culley, which he's actually from Sparta, Tennessee. Was a star athlete for White County.
Oh, actually, okay.
By the way.
Oh, well.
Yeah, he had they showed his high school pictures during the game. Okay. He had the immaculate fro with the nice mustache too. I was like, man, he is truly 70s. So they had that, but of course, that's the Texans, and finally the Jaguars. I will say this: the defense has started to look solid. Of course, they did until this Sunday when they lost 30-10 to the San Francisco 49ers. Now, do you think, based on the tenure so far down there in Jacksonville, that Urban Meyer can take this losing and try to see through turning this thing around?
Poor Urban Myers.
You feel poor for Urban?
Human man. Like, he has been the butt of so many jokes, like literally and figuratively speaking. I I gotta know what their schedule is. Can I take a look at their schedule to see if he'll be able to turn things around? Let me just see.
No, I'm not just talking about now. I'm talking about like
just in the future, like his tenure there.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that he can. I mean, listen, he got Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback now. This is only year one. Let's calm down. We can't expect every quarterback to come in and look like Dak Prescott did his first year. You know what I'm saying? We can't. Look,
How did I know that was coming?
I was gonna throw that in there. We can't expect them to, a team to go 13-3 like Dak Prescott did his first season. We can't expect that all the time. Let's calm down. Let's pump the brakes. This is a new coach. This is a new quarterback. A new system. Let's give him. How long is his contract? With 5 years? 4 or 5 years?
It's like 4 or 5.
4 or 5 years. Yeah, let's pump the brakes a little bit. I think, like you said, the defense is starting to come together. I think that their offense will get better next year. I think he can turn it around. I think he'll maybe by like year 3 for him. It'll get better.
Can he take that stress though? Ooh, he's gonna be doing.
Yeah, he be stressed. He be real stressed out. Like my guy, he be look. Do you need to go back to college because the NFL is that joint is a killer to him? Come honestly, like seriously, I'd be like, bro, just take a chill pill. You're making millions of dollars. Relax. It's a game.
Right. He does this. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, like I said, it's a process. I would hope that the front office in Jacksonville understands that it's a process. Like,
definitely. And then also, what's interesting is, his general manager is the same general manager that Jim Harbaugh had, and eventually they had a struggle over power. So I find it interesting that these two are together, and that potentially Urban probably will struggle with him over power.
I was about to say, it seemed like it's going to be that too. We'll see. So, I think Urban can turn it around. I like to see coaches like come from the collegiate level and then like do well in the pros, and he has just had a doozy of a year. So hopefully next year and the year after it get better for him. I think it will.
Well, I got your last question here. Of course, you talked about Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
All right, he's the main face of the franchise. He's currently got 8 TDs and 9 interceptions. Not a very good QBR. I think it's like 34.8 or 38.4 or something in that range. Oof. What is your level of confidence right now in him as a starting quarterback in the league? And do you think he develops into a reliable QB? Or does he go the route of previous Jaguars first-round quarterbacks? That would be Blake Bortles and Blaine Gabbert.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I brought those names up tonight. Yes, I did.
No, let's not even. I don't think – no, let me ask, because I don't follow the AFC South as much as I should. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, who do they have as receivers? Like, is there any – DJ
Chark is injured. Chenault, he's out. DJ Chark is fractured his ankle, so he's out for the season. He did that versus Cincinnati.
Okay.
You have Marvin Harrison, who they brought in from Detroit. They brought in. They had Chenault that was there the year before.
Okay.
They had Jamal Agnew, who was a converted defensive back to a wide receiver.
Okay.
That's about the extent of the depth. And then they brought Dan Arnold in via trade to play tight end for them, which he was a reliable tight end in Carolina and got more opportunities there in Jacksonville.
You see my face, Mike?
Yeah. I see.
They got to put some talent around that man. Some notable talent. That's why I'm saying maybe like year 3. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like they're going to have, I mean, what? They're going, yeah, you said Marvin Harrison. Look, one of the comments was like, I was like, he got a son. Look.
Yeah, I know. That's like, but he does actually. I meant to say Marvin Jones, not Marvin Harrison, but Marvin Harrison does have a son that does play for Ohio State.
Okay, right. I'm like, right, because I'm like, wait a minute, is he already in? I thought I've seen the name before. Okay, so yeah, they got to again. That's why I'm saying like year 3. Like I don't know if they rack up in the draft next year. You know what I'm saying? Like put some stuff around Trevor Lawrence, and I think that he can be. I think that he's, to be honest. I think he's kind of NFL ready. You know, I mean, this is a rough year. Like you said, his receivers are out. People are being converted from one position to the next. I mean, it's just been a S show in Jacksonville this year. So I think it'll improve year after year. I hope he does not take the same kind of path as Blake Bortles. And who else did you say?
That'd be Blaine Gabbert.
Ooh.
But I'll say this though, he's a nice backup in Tampa right now. To your boy.
No, I don't think that Trevor will go down that same path. We'll see, but they got to put some talent around him. They got to continue to get the defense where it needs to be. And, they'll compete at some point, but only if they put some talent around him. I don't know none of them people that you mentioned for real. And I mean, maybe it's because I don't follow, the AFC South like I should. I'm talking about the bottom part, the Texans and the Jags,
right,
but the Jaguars. But I mean, we'll see.
Well, I'll say this: Marvin Jones definitely was in the witness protection program, which is the Detroit Lions, before he got there. So he just went from one witness protection program to another. So that's really what he did. But he just is more highly paid in this witness protection program. Yeah. But Jacksonville, they're gonna try to bring back those glory years. I just hope a friend of mine isn't listening to this show. That'd be Miss Karita Parks, because she's Duval to the core.
Oh, is she? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Shout out to Karita. That's my girl. Hey, girl.
She's from there. So
okay, got it. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna take that joke back. If Karita Parks is listening, I'm taking that joke back. I'm just playing. I'm just being silly. But in all seriousness, thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Let everyone know where they can find you, and of course, get everything that you throw out there on social media, which tends to get the people going, as they say.
Going, yes. Well, let me just say this. So you can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at @AshleyBaker_21. You can follow me on Facebook, Ashley Baker. Also, I have a podcast, as Mike mentioned earlier. It's called About Nothing But Sports. You can find that on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, whichever is your favorite podcast platform, really is where you'd be able to find the show. So thanks again for having me on, Mike. It was fun touring the AFC South. I was happy when you asked me to tour the AFC South. I'm like, oh, okay, because I've seen you got some good people touring the AFC South. So I was excited that you invited me on.
Yeah, definitely, and also I'm kind of hoping maybe down the line we get another Dallas and Kansas City game. So, Mark Gunnels from Mark My Words podcast. If y'all not getting on that podcast, I need y'all to go check that out now, by the way, on all platforms. But when y'all two talk, it's magic. It's the hot take queen and the hot take king, and they coming together in the kingdom for a nice little conversation.
I appreciate that. Yeah, he drives me insane, man. He drives me nuts, man. This guy, he is Kansas City to the core, like for real. And I'm like, just pump your brakes, calm down a little bit. Like, just bring it down a little bit. But yeah, that's my guy.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. And you've been, for those that are listening and watching, you've been touring the AFC South with your host, Mike Patton.
Thanks again for having me on, Mike.
No problem.